guys, it's your kid. I'm back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw. This marks the second week that there is a delay. Well, not necessarily a delay, but an early showing of Raw. So they opened up the show with John Cena, which they should be opening up the show with John Cena for a very long time. Now, this week, I just want to see a promo battle with John Cena and Cody Rhodes. I'm making it as simple and as plain as possible. I want to see a promo battle. I want them to go back and forth. I want that real animosity to be, showcased. Now, maybe John Cena doesn't necessarily have too much of a beef with Cody Rhodes to where that is why they're just not doing that. He more so has a mission. Which he said, like he's saying that he wants to ruin WrestleMania. He wants to ruin things for wrestling because y'all haven't done right. Y'all haven't been those people that deserve to be fans. You don't deserve him. You guys have been untrustworthy, doing things for your own gain, not really thinking about the ones who do for you. So he wants to get the title at WrestleMania and take it and remain champion and leave WWE, retire WWE being champion. Now, he spoke about how y'all didn't really appreciate the spinner belt, which I've seen a whole bunch of discourse throughout my, throughout a very long time. I've been a wrestling fan for a long time, and people talk about the spinner belt, but I love the spinner belt. I thought the spinner belt was freaking cool. I thought it was freaking cool. Now, I guess I get it, the prestige of a championship. You don't mess with that. You don't make it into a toy, so to speak. But it's iconic. It is. Now, it technically gives Cena, though. It's like Cena. Not too many people look right with it. But for him to make that title, and a lot of people hate it, and then him take a title home with him and to keep it, it writes itself. Now, he also brought up the fact that when it comes to hearing the word 17th, he wants people to think him instead of Ric Flair. Think him. I love that idea. I do. I love the fact that John Cena would etch his name in this very important part while being the one who carries that title for a very long time, as in being the 17th. I really want John Cena to get 17 and be the last. Like, I don't know if I want many people to reach that stage. I don't think there's anybody currently that I want to reach that stage other than him. People brought up the fact that it could be Randy. I think Randy should get close. Randy is deserving of that. But 17, yeah, John Cena all the way. And if you want to ruin WrestleMania by doing that, if you want to ruin wrestling by doing that, hey, by all means, ruin wrestling for me. I'm here for it. And then Cody Rhodes comes out, which he has to play this. He has to be for the people. He does. And he showcased that very well. Now, he also realizes the type of man he is going against and a very dangerous version of Cena, because now John Cena has always looked out for the company. He's always looked out for the integrity of wrestling. And, sure, not too much in the beginning, but for the majority part of John Cena's career, he's done it for WWE. He didn't do it for himself. So now he's selfish. Now he's dedicated and aggressive. And I like that. I truly do. And I like the fact that Cody Rhodes acknowledged that and acknowledged that he may have got things wrong last week, but he understands what type of challenge he's up against. I will say this. I'm going to say this. Him saying that the title is the people's, he's right. But I feel like that's an interesting choice of words. So I really, really, really need to see why The Rock, why Travis Scott. Because time is winding down. It's getting to the point where WrestleMania is literally right around the corner. So what is the real aftermath of what happened at Elimination Chamber? Because there's not been any talk about it since that press conference. So I really need to have more details. So I just know what I'm going against. The idea of it being a clean match at Mania, mind you, would be fire. Especially if Cena wins, but it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. Now, the first match of the night, this right here, I told y'all on Saturday that Jimmy had that tag team match for a reason on Friday. You know, he was getting ready to be a tag team partner, and that's exactly what he was. We had a reuniting of the Usos in an actual match. It's been like a year and a half since they've been tag team in a tag team match. The last time was at Money in the Bank against Solo and Roman, which he pinned Roman. That's when a time where everybody was saying that Jey Uso should be the world champion. This is before everybody was bad. It was for the heat. Now, this match, it did it for me. It hit every nostalgia point. It hit every point of good tag team wrestling. The Usos are my favorite tag team, and I think that this is very selfish of me, and I think that a lot of people that just don't like the fact that the bloodline is, you know, oversaturating things by being in certain positions, but if people like it, people like it. I think that there should be some balance, of course, but the idea of this was being double champs while Jay has the heavyweight championship, while Jimmy has the United States championship, and they occasionally tag to end up being tag team champions. Raw's titles, and not SmackDown's titles, because I need the Street Profits to be champions for a very long time. They don't get that confused now, because I just think that Raw needs help with their tag team division. They really do. But Grayson Waller and Austin Theory held their own. But how you gonna hold your own against the 1D? I love the fact that they always kind of implement that whenever they're back in the ring together, because they know the fans miss that. I don't know if they used this move before. I think they may have, but, you know, it's been a while. The move where Jimmy hoists somebody up and then Jay spears them. Yeah. I'm loving it. Now, at the end of the match, y'all know Gunther is a weekly occurrence for Jay, and I think this whole thing, the whole match is getting better. This whole build-up is getting better, because having Jimmy involved in it, because Jimmy's the only one who's actually saying Jay can do it. Jay just has to lock in and be the version that was the one people thought should be the new WWE champion. Instead of this version of an entertainer, he needs to be that crash out. He needs to actually be who he is and have the confidence instead of worried about what everybody else says, because it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It doesn't. But, you know, Gunther's gonna Gunther, and Jay had a little misstep, which it's a part of the story. Him kind of, because of the lack of confidence, he's faltering a bit. And I like that they're kind of trying to clean it up. I don't know if they're cleaning it up, but also just, you know, making the story more interesting. But that happened, and Jimmy got disrespected, and Jay got disrespected. So Jimmy, as the big brother, as the one who's looking out for him and kind of getting his lick back on Gunther, has a match with him next week. Now, that Gunther and Jimmy match has a potential to be a very fire match. I'll be real. It'll probably be one of the best not defenses, but the best match that Gunther has had during his reign, and I hope they give him the time for that to be one of the best matches. But you never know what happens and why things will change. Now, I like Raquel's wrestling. I think Raquel is very talented. I think that she has she's a good professional wrestler. I believe that. Now, Raquel, I don't want Raquel to be the Intercontinental Champion. I like the match they put on with Lyra and Raquel, because Lyra, she's always proven herself in that ring. I'm sure there was a lot of doubt concerning the fact of Raquel's size and her strength compared to Lyra. But Lyra showed that she is able to be against anybody. except Nia. Nia's the only one who she hasn't beat. But the match between Raquel was pretty good. Like, it shocked me a little tad bit. It shocked me a little tad bit. The fact that the Judgment Day antics didn't get to her, I enjoy that even more. Liv tried it. 100%, but it was not enough. So our IC champion is still Lyra Valkyria. I hope she's able to get into a feud though that shows more of her personality for everybody to be able to get that deeper connection with her, and then maybe people will be more invested to cheer for her a little bit louder, because them woos could be louder. I like in American spaces, those woos can be louder. Bailey ended up coming into the ring and helping Lyra because, as y'all know, Liv Morgan and Raquel are sore losers in this finest. But there was a tease. Of course, it's a tease. Bailey held the belt for a little good second. So a feud between Bailey and Lyra will also be pretty good to me. Maybe it will solidify Lyra, but also it'll add an accolade to Bailey if she's able to get that title. Now, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person at all. And at first I was really kind of interested in what they were going to do with Chad Gable going to learn more about Lucha Libre and all those things, but no, I'm not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. Because who else could it be? Who else could be the person behind the mask? Who else could be El Grande Americano, if not Chad Gable? Like, the movements, everything is like him. Unless they're going to bring out a new superstar that way, don't make sense. But for Dragon Lee to go against El Grande Americano and have a unmasking moment, it wasn't entertaining, to say the least. Because you know that in that match, Dragon Lee was going to handle him. You know he was going to handle him. I think because of the fact that Rey Mysterio is saying that Dragon Lee could be the next one, the next the next number one Lucha Libre, it'd be the next one, and then stuff like this happens. They get stuck into this wormhole of the New Day and their mess. It's like, I want more for Dragon Lee. I just do. I don't know how to push him in that situation, but I just want more for Dragon Lee, if that makes any sense. And I also want more for Chad Gable, because there was a time where people were believing him to be the one who beats Gunther, believing him to be the next Intercontinental Champion. Now, I'm not saying where Braun is a bad, Braun or Sammy was a bad choice, but Chad Gable would have been a very good choice to have one of these times. So I just not really feeling it at all, if we being real. Now, y'all know Adam Pearce. He got to take hold of his people because he feels as though he ain't got no control. He kind of doesn't have any control. So he talks about last week and the fact that reassigning the contract don't mean jack. The match is still Io versus Bianca. I like the fact that they're standing 10 toes down on it, although we know that we're going to get a triple threat match. It's just the way they're going to do it is going to be a way to be like, see, now we told y'all to let us cook. Now we told y'all to shut up and let us cook and stop being complainers. Because it's moving along smoothly. If they create a triple threat match, it wouldn't just be, all right, she signed a list. She signed her name on here. Hey, it's Rhea Ripley, so we're going to give it to her anyway. Like, no, they're not doing that. So I like it. Although Io is she's agreeing that should be a triple threat, but as Bianca being the Elimination Chamber winner, I'm glad that her anger isn't making her say, yeah, I don't care, as soon as it happens. If it does happen, if Bianca is upset to the point where she's like, I don't care what happens, it'd be fine now because it took some time for her to get there. So due to the fact they just can't get along, They scrapped in the middle of the ring. Now, what has happened? Bianca, she stood tall, which I hope that's what happens at WrestleMania Night 1 or 2. The crowd booed her. Now, what pisses me off in this situation is the fact that Bianca is literally in the right. Rhea is the only one who's in the wrong. And Bianca is a great competitor. She's a great performer. And she's a great face. She's a great good guy. Everything to the tens. She meets every standard. Yet they booed her. I don't care if you like Io Sky. You wanted Io Sky to still be champion. She isn't less champion just because Bianca did what she did. And Bianca was just reacting. So why in the world did they boo her? Yeah. Like, the booing needs to go. And if not, y'all need to address why y'all really booing. And keep in mind that Bianca Belair will still be Bianca Belair at the end of the day and still be treated as such. Like, now I really want her to win. So she could parade back at Scotland as champion. Now, because of what occurred at that incident and the fact that they just keep beefing, Rhea Ripley will have a rematch with Io Sky, and Bianca Belair will be the special guest referee. Now, that screams messy, but I'm here for it. Like, if we're not here to be messy, what are we doing? How, like, is it really professional wrestling if it's not messy? CM Punk, he came out to, you know, talk about what happened on SmackDown, which, I'm going to say this. To point us to SmackDown, for somebody to come out and point us to SmackDown, I don't hate it, but give me a little substance with it. And I'm glad that he did that. That's what happened with Punk. He hit a little promo. He gave a substance with it. He didn't just say, hey, guys, yeah, I know what you guys want here, but we're not doing that here. We're going to do that on SmackDown. So make sure you tune in on the USA Network. I'm glad he just didn't hit one of those. Instead, he really talked about it because Roman wasn't there and Seth wasn't there. So he had the moment. He had that mic to just say, hey, this is business. It's not personal. This is what this is not what I wanted. I wanted to main event. I wanted to be in that. I wanted to win a Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber, but that didn't happen because Seth is a baby. Now, he says that he's going to read the fine print of this contract signing that they're going to have for this triple threat match because it may have something he wants. So I'm thinking this might be the main event for night 1. Could be for night. I wouldn't mind if it was for night 2, but it's gonna be for night 1 probably, which is good. And another nugget that's good to me, and I love that he pointed this out, was talking about the real connection between the 3 men. And he said that it was not personal, but for Roman it's personal because of his wise man. For Seth it's personal because of the way he left and how he handled that, all that stuff. But to me, it sounds personal when he brought up the fact that he brought them into this and he could take them out. Business is just looking forward to a match at Mania. Personal is remembering the fact that he's the one who put them there. He's the one who advocated for them to be the Shield. And, well, y'all gonna, you know, I think that that's leaning more towards personal than business. Because when it's business, you don't care to bring up something that happened 12, 14 years ago. I don't know how long ago it's been since the Shield was formed. But you don't bring that up. You're not going to bring that up for real. Unless you're trying to have a measuring contest. As if you're trying to really assert some dominance here. You're not asserting dominance if it's just business for you. If you just need to sign your name on a dotted line. So I'm very intrigued in what Roman is going to say and Seth Rollins is going to say, because you know they're very touchy about the Shield. But I think if they pull more into that Shield connection, as well as the other stuff that comes along with what has happened during these past years, they need to bring up the fact that CM Punk made it very hard for Roman. They need to bring up certain things with, you know, Seth and Roman, and then CM Punk and Seth. Like, they need to bring it up and really have that as the centerpiece so everybody is more so invested in not believing that this is just something to add CM Punk into a match or add Roman into a match or add Seth into the match. So I'm intrigued on what happens on SmackDown, and I think they're They're getting me. That's a good way of doing it. Logan Paul gonna be on Raw next week. I don't know what is going on. Like, we got the tease of AJ Styles and Braun Breaker. Why are we not doing that for Mania? What is going on? Is Braun Breaker wait, what is going on? Is AJ Styles going to have a match between Logan Paul at Mania instead of Braun Breaker and AJ Styles? AJ, I'm sorry, AJ, I'm sorry. Now, our main event of the night got our Intercontinental Champion out of catering. It got our Intercontinental Champion out of the backstage segments that he's been locked into. So I received it for it, especially because it was Penta, and the whole, throughout the night, they were talking about the possibility of Penta joining the Judgment Day, because that is what Dominic was wanting. It wouldn't be a bad thing. They do need a new member. They need to spruce things up, because it's not hitting. Judgment Day being united, it's really a lot. Like, they're not doing anything for me. They're especially not doing anything for Finn and Dominic. But it's neither here nor there. Now, the match between Braun Breaker and Penta, the back and forth with one another with Braun Breaker and Penta was really good, and it also allowed us to see more of Penta with a different type of competitor that Braun Breaker is. And I'm gonna say this: why sit on the top rope when you're going against Braun Breaker? If you do not want him to hit the Frankensteiner, do not be on the top rope. Like, do not sit down on the top rope. Don't do none of that. Stay off of it. Like what I tell you with Kevin Owens. You don't take Kevin Owens for a super suplex because he's going to reverse it. Like, Penta, this is your first time. Next time, get it together. Get it together. Now, in Judgment Day fashion, they was trying to woo Penta by trying to help him in the match. Didn't really work out. Penta wasn't feeling it. And then they ended up costing Penta the match, which led nobody to be pinned. Noted. Now, Finn Balor comes out. Coming out, they are so toxic. They're so toxic to me. They're very toxic. Because one moment they're mad at each other, now they're cool. Now everything's fine. Now we forget about certain things. And there was a moment where they're hitting him with a chair, Braun. And then Dominic wants to pass the chair to Penta. Penta don't know y'all like that. Penta really wasn't feeling y'all jumping Braun Breaker before. So why would y'all think he would be with y'all with jumping Braun Breaker that night? Like, I need to know what the thought process was and why they thought Penta was going to be down for them. Because he was not. He wasn't at all. And sure, that cost Penta, but he still has an honor. He still has that honor. And I'm very interested in what they're going to do next. I think Dominic Mysterio, though, and Finn Balor, they could be in a different position right now. Because Dom just has he should be in that IC championship. He should be the one who's having these matches. But I feel as though since they're hinting at the fact that Liv wants Dom to be in these matches and Dom is able to make the matches, but not for himself, I think Dom is just waiting for his time, which is very smart. And I hope that his time is sooner rather than later. And with what's going on, I need it to be sooner rather than later. I just do. But y'all let me know how you guys felt about Raw. What was your favorite part? And if y'all are excited to see SmackDown as I am. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.